Hello, everyone. Welcome to Unwind Student Life Unplugged. I'm your host, Devangi Sandhu, and I'm thrilled to be here with you today as we dive into the topic that resonates with all of us academic stress. Joining Hello, everyone. Welcome to Unwind Student Life Unplugged. I'm your host, Devangi Sandhu, and I'm thrilled to be here with you today as we dive into the topic that resonates with all of us academic stress. Joining Hello, everyone. Welcome to Unwind Student Life Unplugged. I'm your host, Devangi Sandhu, and I'm thrilled to be here with you today as we dive into the topic that resonates with all of us academic stress. Joining Hello, everyone. Welcome to Unwind Student Life Unplugged. I'm your host, Devangi Sandhu, and I'm thrilled to be here with you today as we dive into the topic that resonates with all of us academic stress. Welcome to today's episode where we dive into a topic that resonates with every student at some point academic stress. College is a time filled with exciting opportunities for growth, but it also comes with high expectations, deadlines, and constant pressure to perform. In this episode, we're joined by a fellow classmate, Mridula, who will share her experiences, insights, and strategies for maintaining the ups and downs of academic life. We will explore the challenges of balancing coursework, the mental toll of stress, and how students can maintain their well being amidst it all. So, Mridula, how do you usually manage academic stress? Are there any strategies or techniques that work best for you?
Well, nowadays, one thing I try to do is I take breaks while studying. So, like, I study for 45 minutes and then I take breaks after that for however long I want and then restart.
And do you rely on your family, friends, or professors to cope up with the stress?
For sure, yeah, I rely on my family and my friends a lot more than I rely on my professors. So, yeah, they help me by, I think, generally just calming me down sometimes when I get, burnt out.
Coming to your study routine, tell me what's your study routine like? Do you think time management plays an important role in reducing stress?
Yeah, definitely. I actually keep a timer for myself for everything, breaks and for actually studying. So I study for about 30 to 45 minutes, and then I take a break of 15 minutes, and I get some snacks or something to drink to help concentrate, and then I just, yeah.
So, what's your go to method for staying focused and productive when the pressure is on?
So, I mean, I only study for about 30 minutes at a time, so it's not as stressful just, because I take breaks. But one thing I do is that I kind of just tell myself it's only for 30 minutes and then I can take a break, and that's like motivation for me to be more productive.
So, how often do you compare yourself to your classmates academically, and do you think that it fuels your stress?
Well, definitely it does fuel my stress, but I compare myself with my classmates the most, I think, when our exam results come out or assignment marks come out. Otherwise, I think we're all the same deep down. So.
Right. So, do you think that academic stress is more like a personal issue or a systematic one created by academic environment?
I think it's both. I think it's a cyclic process. The environment adds to the pressure that you add onto yourself, and because of that, the environment itself feels more stressful altogether. So it's both, to be honest.
Yeah, it does teach you valuable lessons. So, what have you learned about yourself from dealing with academic stress? Has it changed how you approach your studies or life in general?
Well, yeah, I think I've learned to kind of keep a cool head and, well, generally just try not to let the pressure get to me or just avoid stress. And those mechanisms are something I've needed to, adopt. And yeah, that's how I approach everything these days.
So tell me, Mridula, as a second year IR student, if you could give one piece of advice to your juniors or to the school students about handling academic stress, what would it be?
I think my advice would be that it's all about balance. So you have to study and also, take time off and do whatever you like and just work with your moods instead of against it.
Thank you, Mridula. And this wraps up our conversation on academic stress. A huge thanks to our guests for sharing their insightful and personal experiences. Remember, academic stress is something we all face, but managing it with right strategies and support can make a big difference. Prioritize your mental health and don't hesitate to seek help when required. Thank you.
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Navigating Academic Pressure Insights from College Life. I'm your host, Samriddhi, and today we are diving into a topic that hits close to home for pretty much every college student: academic stress. Between heavy coursework, tight deadlines, and constant pressure to perform, it's easy to feel like you're drowning sometimes. But how do we handle all that stress while juggling everything else in life? To help us unpack this, I'm thrilled to have my friend uh, Gunveer join us today. They've been through the thick of it and have some great insights to share. Thank you so much for Gunveer for coming.
Pleasure to be here.
Okay, so Gunveer, how do you usually manage academic stress? Are there any strategies or technique that work best for you?
The best strategy I'd say is time management. Anyone who understands the importance of time management will know that it is the best coping mechanism you could have.
Okay. Okay, great. So, how does academic stress affect other areas of your life, such as your social life, health, or hobbies?
I think it's pretty obvious that it just makes your whole routine very tumultuous. So, academic stress can hinder your way from undertaking other activities such as your hobbies. Some kids my age, they don't find the time to go to the gym or play sports or whatever. So I think that's one thing. It does affect your daily life in that manner.
Okay, great. So, what's your go to method for staying focused and productive when the pressure is on?
I think the best way to remain productive is inculcating an apt relaxation time in your daily routine. If your mind is not fresh, you won't be able to focus.
So, Gunveer, have you ever experienced burnout from academic pressure, and how do you recognize it? And what steps did you take to recover?
Of course, I have. You recognize it when you start fading away. Your focus is just not the same. Like you're reading and the words stop making any sense. That sort of thing. And your ability to understand is hindered.
Okay, Gunveer. So, what have you learned about yourself from dealing with academic stress? Has it changed how you approach your studies or life in general?
I could go on and on about the life lessons that I've learned, but to make it short and sweet, there's a saying that goes on in the military: the more you sweat in practice, the less you bleed in war. So when it passes, it's easy.
Nice. So, my last question to you would be, if you could give one piece of advice to incoming students about handling academic stress, what would it be?
I think I tell them not to succumb to peer pressure, because that's one of the great factors that adds on to academic stress rather. So I'd say don't be distracted by what others say, stay focused and it will all be managed.
Thank you so much, Gunveer. So that's our episode on navigating academic stress. With Gunveer, a heartfelt thank you to our guests for sharing their valuable insights and experiences. We have highlighted that while academic pressure is a common struggle, various strategies and support systems can help manage it effectively. Prioritizing your mental health, seeking support from your friends and family, and utilizing campus resources are crucial as you navigate college life. If you found this conversation helpful, please share it with others who might benefit. Thank you so much. Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Navigating Academic Pressure Insights from College Life. I'm your host Samriddhi Adam, and today we are diving into a topic that hits close to home for pretty much every college student: academic stress. Between heavy coursework, tight deadlines, and the constant pressure to perform, it's easy to feel like you're drowning sometimes. But how do we handle all that stress while juggling everything else in life? To help us unpack this, I'm thrilled to have my friend and classmate Aryan Satwa join us today. They've been through the thick of it and have some great insights to share. Thank you so much, Aryan, for coming.
Thank you so much for having me, Samriddhi.
So, Aryan, how do you usually manage academic stress? Are there any strategies or techniques that work best for you?
Well, I think best way to plan to manage any stress is to plan things in advance. Procrastinating things to the last minute will never work in your favor. I mean, that's what all the college students actually do. You have done it, I have done it, but we must realize that if you procrastinate things, if you study one night before the exam, it's definitely not going to work out in your favor. So I always try to plan things in advance. So for example, we have our end semester exams next month, and I have started planning for it. I have started making a timetable, a schedule, a list of what I have to complete at by what time. So I think that really helps.
Okay.
So yeah.
So, how does academic stress affect other areas of your life, such as your hobbies, social life, or health?
It doesn't actually.
Doesn't.
It doesn't. I always try to manage things out. I mean, right before the exam, it definitely affects your mindset. I don't interact with a lot of people, and I don't engage in the hobbies that I usually engage in, like exercising or reading. But I don't let it affect much because I believe that exams are just a part of your life. It cannot be your entire life. So I think enjoying other things in life is also very important. So
Yeah.
I try to maintain my hobbies even before the exam.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, nice. And how often do you compare yourself to your classmates academically, and do you think that fuels your stress?
Sorry, I didn't get the question.
How often do you compare yourself to your classmates academically, and do you think that fuels your stress?
I don't compare myself. I
No.
only compare myself with my past. I motivate myself to be the best. And yeah, so see, if you keep comparing yourself with others, you will only feel more hollow. So I used to do that. I'm not going to deny that. I used to do that a lot. But eventually, you must realize that there will always be someone who is more better than you. So you should be content with what you have, and you should push yourself to be the best. Comparing yourself with others is just unnecessary habit. I don't like that.
Yeah, right. So, do you think academic stress is more of a personal issue or a systematic one created by the academic environment?
I think it's a bit of both. Indian system is more reliant on ratta maro, mug up the subjects, but
Yeah.
that cannot be managed. That's practically out of your hands. But what you can manage is your own mindset towards the exam. And how I do it is that people usually chase success. Your parents would push you to get a 9 CGPA or 9.5 SGPA. I have made this mindset that I'm comfortable with getting 6.5. If you're comfortable with failure, you will not fear it, right? So that's what I do. You need to manage your personal mindset so that you can manage stress. Systematic mindset आप manage नहीं कर सकते, but personal तो आप कर ही सकते हो. So,
Yeah, right, correct. So, do you rely on friends, family, or college sources to cope with stress?
I mostly rely on my therapist. I think that's a very good way. I also rely on my parents as well, particularly my mom.
Okay.
She has been a pillar of support, and a few friends. So yeah, but mostly it's my therapist who does the right job.
Nice, great. So, what have you learned about yourself from dealing with academic stress? Has it changed how you approach your studies or life in general?
Oh yeah, I realize that I can be much more perseverant than I give my credit to myself. I could be very hardworking in pressure situations. That's what I have realized, and yeah, it has changed my approach to a huge extent. Earlier, I used to procrastinate a lot. Now I am still trying not to. Still in the trying phase. Yeah, pretty much. I think that's pretty much it. Yes.
So, my last question would be, if you could give one piece of advice to incoming students about handling academic stress, what would it be?
Just keep an open mindset. Don't pressurize yourself to score the best or score any good number. As Lord Krishna said, that result is not in your hands, the process in your hands. So just focus on the process. Don't think a lot about the result, because in life sometimes you can do your best, you can give your best, and you will still fail.
Yeah.
And that's
right.
not your fault. That's just life. So just don't take that pressure into your head. Just enjoy the journey. That's it. Yeah.
One of the best advices someone has given.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Aryan Satpa, for today. So that wraps up our episode on navigating academic stress. A heartfelt thank you to our guests for sharing their valuable insights and experiences. We have highlighted that while academic pressure is a common struggle, various strategies and support systems can help manage it effectively. Prioritizing your mental health, seeking support from friends and family, and utilizing campus resources are crucial as you navigate college life. If you found this conversation helpful, please share it with others who might benefit. Thank you so much for today. Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Navigating Academic Pressure Insights from College Life. I'm your host Samriddhi Yadav, and today we are diving into a topic that hits close to home for pretty much every college student: academic stress. Between heavy coursework, tight deadlines, and constant pressure to perform, it's easy to feel like you're drowning sometimes. But how do we handle all that stress while juggling everything else in life? To help us unpack this, I'm thrilled to have my friend and classmate Danny join us today. They've been through the thick of it and have some great insights to share. Thank you for coming, Danny.
Thank you, Samadhi, for inviting me. Sir, Mary.
So, Danny, how do you usually manage academic stress? Are there any strategies or techniques that work best for you?
To be fair, the Amity is a very stressful place. And being the CR, I have to do a lot of things. And managing the academic stress is something that I overlook these days. I don't really particularly focus on academics these days. And it's really sad that I can't. So basically, how I handle stress can be answered in a broader perspective, in the sense that I try and take time for myself some days. When I'm overworked, I usually just take sabbaticals for 1 or 2 days, and that's what I do to actually maintain my stress levels. I go to during weekends, I have fun with my friends. I go out, and other days I come, I dedicate myself to my work, whatever work that I have to do or academics that I have to do. So mostly, yeah, I do go out and have fun. That's how I manage my stress.
Okay. So, what's your go to method for staying focused and productive when the pressure is on?
I am somebody who likes to be busy. I like to be busy because it takes away all other things that I probably will think about when I'm sitting on my own. So it's for me to be focused on while I do something means that I am taking away stress. So it's a way when people think that I might be stressed, but when I am working, it's that key. I'm focused. I'm very focused on something that it just happens. I don't know why. I just like the thing that I do, so I just do it.
Okay, so you're the CR, so I would like to ask you this question. Do you feel pressure from your professors, peers, or even yourself to perform at a certain level? How do you handle that?
Yes, I do. I certainly feel pressure from myself to perform at a level. That is even more than what other people think about me. I feel like I think about myself in a certain way, that I need to show up for things. I need to do things that I have to do, that I expect myself to do. So more than how my friends or my professors expect from me, I expect something from myself. So that's what I try to achieve most of the times these days. I used to try to please people before, but now I have understood that I have to take time for myself, and now I try to do what makes me happy.
Nice. How has academic stress impacted your mental health over time? Have you ever felt that need to seek professional help or counseling?
You see, sometimes things do get really hard, and you do think about professional help, but you never know really how it could help you, especially being from a conservative country like India, where mental health is frowned upon. The problems with mental health is frowned upon. You don't really get the opportunities to maybe see a counselor, maybe have a therapist, and you learn to, when you don't have access to those things, coming from a conservative background, you tend to do things on your own. You try to maintain your mental health, or talk to yourself mostly.
Okay. So do you rely on friends, family, or college resources to cope with stress?
To be fair, I've never used any college resources. I do not rely on my family either for stress management. Mostly I rely on myself for my mental health, and I do rely on my friends. I do talk to my friends. it's a good experience talking to my friends. They do give different perspectives and different ideas that I have to introspect upon. So it's a good thing that I'm talking to my friends. That's one of the ways I do relieve stress.
So, what have you learned about yourself from dealing with academic stress? Has it changed how you approach your studies or life in general?
One thing that I feel like I've understood is that when you stress about things, it does not help at all. So what the only thing that you can do is like believe in yourself, and if it's academics, you just have to. If it's an exam is coming up, what I do is I try to, when I write the exam, I write about what I know. I connect things that I understand, and I do write about it. And now whenever I prepare accordingly so that I can write the exam in the way that I want. And I do tend to do well, hopefully. Let's see. And it is completely fine.
Okay, thank you so much, Shani. That wraps up our episode on navigating academic stress. A heartfelt thank you to our guests for sharing their valuable insights and experiences. We have highlighted that while academic pressure is a common struggle, various strategies and support systems can help manage it effectively. Prioritizing your mental health, seeking support from friends and family, and utilizing campus resources are crucial as you navigate college life. If you found this conversation helpful, please share it with others who might benefit. Thank you so much. Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Navigating Academic Pressure, Insights from College Life. I'm your host Samriddhi Yadav, and today we are diving into a topic that hits close to home for pretty much every college student: academic stress. Between heavy coursework, tight deadlines, and the constant pressure to perform, it's easy to feel like you're drowning sometimes, but how do we handle all that stress while juggling everything else in life? To help us unpack this, I'm thrilled to have my friend and classmate Amiksha Manga join us today. They've been through the thick of it and have some great insights to share. Thank you for coming on, Amiksha.
Thank you so much for inviting me to this podcast.
Let's start. How do you usually manage academic stress, and are there any strategies or techniques that you work best for you?
I usually manage academic stress by focusing on time management and breaking the task into smaller tasks so that it can be easy. I also make sure to have some exercise, even just a walk would help. It helps clear my mind and boost my energy. I also try to practice mindful breathing exercises when I feel very anxious and stressed. That is, it helps calm me and helps me refocus.
Great. Do you rely on friends, family, or college resources to cope with stress? How have they helped?
Yeah, definitely. I'd say I rely on my family and friends, especially my sister, I would say, and my mother. My sister is a very good listener. When I go to her, I went out and she gives me some tips to how to make the learning easy. As for the resources, I do use some online resources or the ones that are given by the college professors, I would say.
Okay, so my next question to you will be: do you ever feel pressure from your professors, peers, or even yourself to perform at a certain level? How do you handle that?
Yeah, definitely I feel pressure from all sides, be it peers, professors, especially from my own side myself. There's high expectation and it's easy to feel like you're constantly being evaluated. To handle that pressure, I remind myself that everyone's path is different and it is okay to not be perfect sometimes. I focus on my progress and being compared with others. Also, I talk to my friends about this feeling and it helps me a lot. Because it reminds me that everyone is going through some struggle in their life. Even if it doesn't look like it, it is happening.
So, do you think academic stress is more a personal issue or a systematic one created by the academic environment, and why?
I think it is both. It is a combination of both personal and a systematic factor. On a personal level, it comes from our own expectations and how we choose to manage our time and pressure. There's also the sheer volume of work and the idea that success is tied to academic performance, which pushes students to the edge. I believe the system could do more to support the students by fostering a more balanced approach, focusing on learning and growth rather than just performance. To address the large systematic pressure that contributes to academic stress, we also need coping strategies.
So, if you could give one piece of advice to incoming students about handling academic stress, what would it be?
My advice would be to focus on time management and self care. Prioritize tasks using a planner, break them into manageable steps. Do not hesitate to seek help from your peers or family or professors or your resources. Remember, it's okay to take breaks and practice mindfulness. Balancing academic and well being is key to navigating the college successfully.
That's wrap up our episode on navigating academic stress. A heartfelt thank you to our guests for sharing their valuable insights and experiences. We have highlighted that while academic pressure is a common struggle, various strategies and support systems can help manage it effectively. Prioritizing your mental health, seeking support from friends and family, and utilizing campus resources are crucial as you navigate college life. If you found this conversation helpful, please share it with others as well. Thank you.
And that wraps up our episode of Unwind Student Life Unplugged. Thank you so much for joining us today as we explored the realities of academic stress with our amazing guests. I hope you found their stories and tips helpful. Remember, you're not alone in this journey, and it's okay to reach out for help when you need it. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe and share it with your friends. I'd love to hear your thoughts. So feel free to connect with us on social media or drop me a message about your own experiences with academic stress. Take care of yourselves and remember to unwind. See you next time.